Hello, ladies and gentlemen, James here. Haven't been able to do a video like this in a while. My, my other computer, I'm on my Chromebook, so I don't know how the camera quality gonna be. In this video, I'm gonna make a couple short brief about this Asian situation, and my response is gonna be more on the logical side. I know there's a lot of anger. I know there's a lot of division in America right now, consistent with what's going on with the two cases with the young men. The one young man that passed away by Rick Chow, and the other one with Carmelo Anthony. But this is on light. But I'm gonna come at it, and it's gonna be. But there's another community is chiming in on this situation. So let's see what this other community is.
The number one problem. You out there, this video here, be able to take the same kind of criticism.
Okay.
The same bullshit that you put out, because I'm getting ready to give it to you. And any other.
Sorry, I forgot to had to wind this back. This is what this guy said.
Latino said this should not be gone. None of our children should be gone from the acts of racism.
Cyrus is dead because you didn't care about your son. Let's be real, this has nothing to do with specifically racism. You can ask any Black American in any rural part of, I don't know, Georgia or any urban part of Alabama and ask them, would you allow your 14-year-old to be walking around with a gun? Every reasonable parent, even the most pro-gun advocate, would be, no, it is not acceptable for a 14-year-old to be running around with a pistol or any kind of weapon, especially without supervision. So respectfully, go yourself. Because if you cared, he wouldn't even have the gun in the first place. If you cared, he would have been carrying money to pay for the waters in the first place. If you cared, he would have been alive.
Hey, beautiful, are you by any chance a senior single woman? Because on this platform, 250,000 users are
Alive.
I've been seeing a lot of black people on the internet saying, oh, we gotta boycott the Asians and the Chinese people. Like, bro, y'all sound stupid as hell, bro. Most of y'all, like, why you got beef with the Asians and Chinese people? By the end of the weekend, I promise more than half of you guys are gonna be going out to the Chinese buffets and ordering shit from China. So who are you kidding? Saying, oh, they hate us, they wanna get rid of us, blah, blah, blah. Have you ever thought about why they hate you, why everybody hates y'all, because y'all don't know how to behave. Damn.
Do Black Americans have any friends? Do they have political allies? I mean, let's be a little bit honest here. I mean, they're over here targeting white people constantly. And then the whole Ashley Gonzalez thing came out, and then all of a sudden they want to target Latinos. Now Rick Chow was found not guilty, and then of course they want to target Asians now too, not just Chinese people, but all Asian. This is something very unique to the Black American community. It's not Black Latinos saying this, it's not dark-skinned Asians saying this, it's foundational Black Americans being racist, anti-Latino, anti-Asian. That's what it is, that's what it's about. Black Americans, especially foundational Black Americans, are racist. Black Americans just won't stop. If you guys have been following the Rick Chow case, things have just gotten way worse because now Black Americans are targeting Asian businesses for no reason. Just because you are upset at the result of a specific case, I just don't understand why you're going to drag an entire racial community. This just goes to show that Black people in the United States can be racist, and many are.
This is gonna counteract what they're saying before we get to the black guy. Because this is a Mexican guy gonna counteract what they're saying.
right now, it ain't coming from us. We don't want to be associated with that fake
of someone who represents what you perceive as an oppressor. We were raised.
What do you want us to do? What do you want us to do? Look, I'm lost for I don't know what to do. I got 5 boys. I don't know what I ain't got nothing to tell them no more. They ain't walk away no more.
I was not stabbed, children. No why. All you have to do, not stab, not kill, not shoot, not move people. All you have to do is okay. Somehow this is a hard task for a lot of people in this community. Racial identity doesn't excuse you from committing violent crimes. It's not a get out of jail free card to do whatever you want. Maybe during the craziness of 2020, when the entire world began to grovel at your feet, you might now think you're able to do whatever you want. But newsflash, Keisha, no, you can't just do whatever you want. No, you're not allowed to stab people. Get away with it. We live in a Let me point out the contradiction. Pay attention.
What do you want us to do? What do you want us to do at this point? Look, I'm lost for I don't know what to do. I got 5 boys. I don't know what I ain't got nothing to tell them no more. You can't walk away no more.
I'm not stab and kill people. You'll be fine. All you have to do, not stab, not kill, not shoot, not move people. All you have to do, you'll be okay. Somehow this is a hard task for a lot of people in this community. Your racial identity doesn't excuse you from committing violent crimes. It's not a get out of jail free card to do whatever you want. Maybe during the craziness of 2020.
You go right there. During the craziness of 2020. You mean when white people were attacking Asians because of COVID? You mean that craziness of 2020? See, that's the problem with Asian people. Collectively, you worship white people. You idolize white people. You want to be like white people. And you know what? That would be all good and dandy. However, there's a problem here. There's a big problem. Let me point that out for you.
Regarding the fucking Asian community, they're probably thanking God that your fucking black ass don't fucking go into their fucking store anymore to cause a fucking muck.
Okay, so suddenly, since it seems that the black American community is boycotting Asian businesses, all of a sudden, you're supposedly glad that black people are not going to support your businesses financially. And supposedly, you're glad. Because why?
Regarding the fucking Asian community, they're probably thanking God that your fucking black ass don't fucking go into their fucking store anymore to cause a fucking muck.
Okay, there's a huge problem in all of this. And here's the problem. Why is it that when you come to this country, from whatever Asian country you come from, why is it that if or when you're going to establish a business in this country, it is always, no, not sometimes, it is always in a predominantly black neighborhood. And if you manage to accumulate the wealth and or become successful in this business, it was because of the black dollar. All these Asian restaurants, Asian hair product stores, hair salons, smoke shops, and whatever other businesses that you establish in this country, you always establish them in predominantly black neighborhoods. Why is that? You obviously idolize and worship white people and or whiteness. You seek proximity to whiteness. You perform white alignment when you come to this country. But yet, you rely on black people and or the black dollar to become successful in your businesses in this country. Can we be honest as to why this is so? Because you know goddamn well that your beloved white people that you idolize and worship so much neighborhood so bad. Oh, Asian people are not neighborhoods. We're in white neighborhoods. We have our own Chinatown. We have our own Koreatown. You think we really need you guys to benefit off and make money? A lot of us do go to college as well. You're being outworked by immigrants who barely.
Okay, I'm gonna stop it right there. So, Ricardo, who's Latino, come back with the Latinos on here, but they coming from their point of view. That's why I don't want to make it seem like it's a us versus them. I want to see us versus logic. Us versus logic. It's not about black and white or Latino. It's about common sense. Or Asian.
Can be racist, and many are
Now go back what he said. Sorry.
racist. When people say that black people cannot be racist, I want them to look at this. People like him literally think that other races are out to get black people. People like him are dangerous. It's the pomposity for me. I think it's very telling that lots of black Americans are getting upset because other people are talking about their Asian boycott, and like we're documenting it all. We are going to continuously talk about the racism that is in the black American community.
If you have ever wanted to land a 100 to 150K a year fully remote career in as
How much? But let me.
little as the next 4 months,
Unaliving a kid just because you think the parents didn't care? Well, let's take a look at this video. I'll be back with more commentaries. Let's hear what people have to say. This video is only for educational purposes only and for commentary. Let's take a look.
Hey, black community, how's that Asian boycott working out for you, man? I mean, I've been watching it online, how y'all gonna stop dealing with this Asian establishments and so on and so on. So that leads me to wonder to all these women, where they're gonna get their hair from, their eyelashes, and where they're gonna get their nails and feet done. You know, and so on and so on. You know, where you gonna get your Nike sneakers from and all that other shit. You know? I'm trying to figure it out. Me, I'm not boycotting shit. This is not my fight. It really isn't. It's fries. This pepper steak and fried rice is banging.
While you were too busy worried about Love Island, I know because I was too busy worried about Love Island. Guess what? Cuba's still starving. Cuba's still starving.
It gave you equal opportunity, jobs, education, politics, you name it. Who's at the forefront of that movement in those marches? My people. You see, back then, before the civil rights movement, we, and certainly not you guys, you didn't have rights. My people bled, they were beaten with batons, shot, jailed, and killed for the very same rights that you enjoy today. You see, back in the 60s, there were only 4.2 million of you Mexicans here in this country. I want you to look up this word, Uthea. Uthea, O-O-T-H-E-A. It's a bug, it's a bug, okay? It's an insect. That's how you have grown over the past 60 years here in this country. And if your country was so good, why the f*** didn't you stay over there? There are 40 million of you here now. 10.9% of you were born over in Mexico. Let's go move that up to 11%. Since you got here, you people are spawned like schools of fishes. Okay? And you are prospered. Yeah, you guys work hard, but we work hard. Let me explain. You guys have spawned like fishes. Okay? Like ants. Uthea. Uthea. Check it out. And you claim that you guys work so hard. Let me say this to you. Yeah, you come our drip, our style, we dictate fashion. You probably wasn't wearing them shits when you was a little kid, and if you immigrated over there, hey, you damn shit wasn't wearing. You was probably wearing them cheap ass $2 Ray-Bans, which is popular in your country. Okay, you got that Versace, that motherfucker from my people. Okay, even with the fitting, you people got something wrong with nobody likes us. Everything that we create, from the traffic light to the elevator, open heart surgery, you name it. My ancestors created that shit. You brother have gotten over here and have benefited, and you got the nerve, all of you. When you speak about black people, put some mother respect on our goddamn name, because your freedoms you have is because of us. Yes.
I'm gonna stop it right here. I don't want to make this too long. So, if black people is such whining, complaining, if black people, I would think about this today, because it's not about hatred, but for the people from these different communities that feel like this, because individually we know there's some people that stand by black people from different cultures, but for the vast majority that don't stand by black people, and the ones that maybe don't speak English too well, maybe you can tell the ones that translate this to them. Wouldn't it be better for you to find a different industry? For example, in the Asian community, could have found a different, like go into agricultural, fishing, and that way you don't have to deal with people. And then the people who, if more you got towards that way, then you can deal with less of us. Because we know there's some places over in Asia that has happened to. Maybe you don't want to deal with a demographic of people where majority of the people is at. And if they traumatize you, maybe it'd be better for you to go into the Caucasian community. For your sake, for your psychological sake, it don't have to be racial tension. And if you feel this way about another race of people, and you don't think that they're not even worthy to take their dollar, like one woman says, why take their dollar? If their melanin in their skin bothers you, if their stereotype remind you of something that you think that you've seen on TV, you've been programmed, then if black people traumatize you that much, maybe it's time to go into another field. I'm just saying, and this is to any other group, not just the Asians, but to the East Indians, the Arabs, the Latinos, and whatever individual. Why don't you go to a community? Because if you're not willing to celebrate us and instead tolerate us, we really don't want to deal with you like that. That's what it sounds like is coming off to me. But we know that a certain percentage of black people are going to go like that black man is going to do it. But they fuel the fire by running the social media. And they start this. They started with this. Now it's catching on to the people who don't come to social media. And now that this situation blew up with the kid in South Carolina, I think North or South Carolina, and this kid in Texas, and then you coming on with the extra fire to come at people and torment people, and I don't know, they trying to get some response from black people, and you're not getting the proper response of being these violent, so they can plant all over. Black people are using wisdom and it bothers you, because it bothers the ones that have this prejudice, this perception. And now there are going to be black people that going to come out this little itsy bitsy tribal thing going amongst each other and really do business with one another. And I do believe it's going to come around because this exposed it. It took something like this to happen. But it's your fault. And the people, these are the people who spoke against black issue. It's their fault. And I feel bad for the Asian people who don't, or Latino or other people. And I even heard what the brother said. We black people are literally separated from everybody, even people that look similar to them, from the Caribbean to the Africa, behind this. You really don't know what you've done, and now it's time. The other people, a demographic, is to go to mainstream white America, since they don't make you feel and give you phobia about their attitude. They don't give you a phobia about they're gonna come into your store and come into your business. Maybe it need to be in a sense that, and then for the blacks, they always find a way. They may not be able to get it up the ground, but trust me, they're going to find a way. And what happened with the Target situation? If you have Target and you have Oregon and other businesses, I have seen people, not just Target, but just mom and pop stores in small towns throughout America that have lost business because of the economy, people not coming through there. So why would some of you get this attitude, this arrogant attitude that you're untouchable, when there are some people in suburbs and rural areas that they went out of business too? And the ethnic groups that spend the most, tell the ones you despise, for some reason it just makes you angry that because they have a certain character, a certain persona about themselves. Is it because you're jealous? Because you don't have whatever is the black people have, but you're trying to. It's almost like a relationship, ladies and gentlemen. How a man is an abusive man, and he tells that woman all the time, "You're only lucky to have a man like me," and by devaluing that woman, he thinks that her self-esteem is going to count on him. What she don't know, that woman who has a self-esteem finds out she has God will lead her away from that abusive, objective man. And when she finds improvement in her self-esteem and start exercising and taking care of herself, then she start getting noticed. Then that same person that effed up, all of a sudden they want to come back. Take that into a whole situation they try and do people like that. You've been programmed. These people have been programmed. So if they're criminals and whatever they may be, and for both and all these other ethnic groups, maybe it's time for just, and it's not going to be all black Americans, but maybe or particular people, but maybe it's time to just, maybe we should just some people need just to withdraw. If they scare you coming to your store or your business, maybe the black people are doing you a favor. You have to worry about getting your gun. And for the black people, they don't have to worry about complaining you following them around the store and traumatizing them. It works out both ways. So it's a solution to the problem. Let them have, and I pray that the black people will fulfill whatever business that most of us have. Because if you can't stand the presence of a melanated, different organic being, I've been trying to understand that. Why do you go to a place like Africa, Jamaica, and this is to some of the Asians, and abuse the people down there. You don't like the people. I don't even know about this, but the Jamaicans burned down the hotel because the Asians wanted white and Asians at the hotel on a predominantly island full of native Jamaicans. Why don't you find some other place to go do that around people who are not like that? You're getting like these other groups of people that the other people despise. Because some Indians are being despised right now in different parts of the world. Israelis being despised because of their demeanor. And they're getting kicked out of the country. Getting kicked out of different countries. So the Chinese and the Koreans and some of the other, they need to really think about that. They really need to think about it. And even in China right now, I don't know you know this, they have a high homeless rate in certain cities in China. Factories are closed down in China. So while you're being cocky about your education, in this different cities in China, their home business have left China. So you might really want to examine that, the ones who are Chinese. How you talk, how you deal with people. And if people get tired enough, they'll boot you out the country. And I don't know, maybe these certain groups of people, they need to carry that spirit back to where they come from. If they can't adjust their reality, that people are, it don't matter what your education or your money status, you don't mistreat people of any race, of any walk of life like that. God didn't make the Most High to make people to be subjugated to other people. So these and the Latino community, the ones that spoken up, at one point, that's why the black people didn't come out in different solidarity when it came to ICE. Because of, in solidarity, in you see Cubans, Venezuelans, Mexicans, and a few other people, and some Africans and some Asians have been withdrawn out this country. In fact, some of your foreign, not just Asians, but other different people that have CDLs are getting suspended. So while you're getting cocky at one group of people in America, it's being reduced. Let's all go all the groups. Your superiority mindset is coming down, while the people you put down under your feet is rising up. And I know it's not every person of every ethnic group, but it's to the ones who are like this. If you don't want to be around the people, simply, it's like, it's like, for example, I made this example earlier. If you go to Louisiana and you don't like snakes and alligators, don't live next to snakes and alligators. Don't go next to the swamp. If you fear alligators and snakes and poisonous spiders, simple as that. Why you go and but you put a business around the area where it's possibly seeing alligators and snakes? See, that's how some of you don't use your logic. You're so smart, people that do that, but they're stupid. So if you don't like, and let's put it towards people. If you don't like to be around a demographic of people, and you think that are criminally minded, and that they're bad and honest against you, why do you go around them? Why do you take their money? If they're not equal to you. If they're not, why take their money? Do you think that somebody should be subjected for your abuse? No human being should abuse somebody regardless of what their status, what their class status is, or their race status. When you wouldn't like the dominant society to do you like that. You wouldn't want white people to do you like that. And for some of you people that want to come and say, I've been wanting to say this, who think that you're better than us Black Americans. Why don't you go some places like Wider, Texas? Why don't you go someplace like Harrison, Arkansas? Why don't you go some places like that? Because there's no crime there, but you got something waiting for you. And to my Black Americans, let them find out. Let them find out. Let them go to them places. Please, I want you to go to them places. Let them go to one of them places with the rebel flags and stuff like that. Because you're not us. At least you're not like those Black Americans. Let's see how that works out. Because you don't want to be around us. But maybe you can be around them. Like Ricardo says. And he's into my Latinos. See what... Go that's down in that part of the country. And you're going to find out what the real America is about. You're going to find out you think that you down and denigrate and argue one people, but wait till you see the other people who you, like Ricardo said, who you put on the highest pedestal. See how they treat you. But yeah, if you're traumatized by a group of people, it don't have to be hatred. It don't have to be violent. It don't have to be menace. Just stay away from them. Go into another bit. Take the money earned from the Black community, open up another business, and have a certain demographic of people. You already made enough money to open up a business, maybe a different type of business, and put it in the suburbs. And deal with people that don't make you feel like you have to look over your shoulder. You don't have to get the gun. You don't have to be like Rick Chow here. Get out of the community for your trauma, for your family's sake. And guess what? There's rural areas that might even take you. There are rural areas around America, the suburbs, rural area. It's less of us out there and more of them out there. Think about it. That's just a suggestion. Just go into another business. You don't have to see people that look like us. You don't have to be bothered with people that look like us. You don't have to be in fear of people that look like us. Okay? All right, then, guys. Take care. Be blessed. Like and subscribe. But it's not about hatred. It's about solution. But right now, attacking people, going back and forth, it's not going to make it better. It's not going to start something. We don't want to go there. Let's be at peace. You go your way, we go our way. If you feel that way, and then be kind to the Black people that decide to stay around and patronize your business. But don't look for the majority of them to come. Take care, be blessed. See you on the next video.